Hello. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. How's it going? How's it going? This is going to be fun. We got a holiday week and people are showing up. This is awesome. I don't have any music playing today, unfortunately. I am so excited you're here. Thanks for joining us. Please go into the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If you are in you know, what city you're calling from. I'd love to see if you're a first time person joining us, first time agent in Sherri Johnson Catalyst Coaching. Welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. I am excited. We have a great topic today, the CRM, how we're going to actually turn your CRM into what I call a continuous referral machine. That's a coined phrase. I love it. I came up with that, and I got to tell you, everyone always says like, what's the best CRM? And I say the one that you're using, right? Like everyone has a CRM and they tell me I don't use it. Today we're going to change that. How can we generate lots of revenue, lots of income, lots of listings, lots of sales, and ultimately more income for you by maximizing what's in your CRM? So if you have a CRM, great. If you're not using it, that's okay. I'm going to tell you today why your CRM is literally worth it's a gold mine, right? It's literally available. If you're paying for leads, if you are struggling with lead generation right now, your sphere of influence, how can we actually tap into your sphere, have more people engaging with you? Right now, you're not doing that, right? I can't tell you how many people tell me that their former clients did not use them, right? Their former client did not use them. If you're just getting on, welcome. Let me know in the chat where you're tuning in from. I see some names I recognize. By the way, right? 80% of home sellers and buyers say they would use the same agent that they bought their house with, and only 12% are actually doing that. That's a problem for us. That is not good, right? That means we're not doing a good enough job tapping into our sphere. I go into the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. If I see all these beautiful faces, if you can engage on video, I always say audio off, video on. You will have a better experience. Hi, Paul. Hey, good to see you. You will have a better experience in that you will be fully engaged. I see Kevin. I see Vienna. I see a lot of Virginia today. That's awesome. So while I'm letting people in the room, we are recording this. You will get a playback of it. We also have some awesome information to share with you, to give you from Catalyst Coaching. This is a literally free coaching session every Thursday at 1 o'clock. For, I would say, most Thursdays it happens. So I'm here and I'm excited. We got a ton of people in the waiting room. If you have questions about things you would like me to cover, this is interactive. I would love you to put those questions in the chat and I will answer them. If I know that I'm going to answer them in the next few minutes, I might just keep talking. But great to see all of you again. Patricia Jordan, wow. You were on last week. I think you shared that you got a 1.5 or $1.3 million listing or buyer. Was it a listing or buyer? Buyer from asking for the appointment. I think that was the driver. Used a Sherri Johnson strategy of just asking for the appointment, right? And that's going to change everything. Right? I just said this in a session yesterday. When you are face to face with people, you have a 98% success rate of getting an appointment with them if you add value. You got to add value. If I ask my friends, hey, can I come and see your house? And I don't tell them why, and they just say, that's not any, there's no value added to that, right? If I say I can come over and save you time and money, I can help you with the list before you're putting the house on the market in 12 months, you actually need me now, right? And so adding value and then getting the appointment, super easy. Probably the biggest failure rate for most agents. And I'm serious, like we don't ask for the appointment. And that is simply why we're missing all those opportunities. So I'm going to pull up the slide deck, get started. I do have, like I mentioned, a couple of really great I don't say offers, but like exciting things. You can book a strategy call with me today. I'm actually, let's see, are we here? There we go. I'm going to put that slide up in a moment. But I want to first welcome you back. If you've been with Sherri Johnson Coaching previously, great to have you back. If you are a first timer, welcome. This is going to change your life. I talk about building a pipeline. I talk about building referral business. You do not have to pay for leads, and you do not have to pay referral fees on those leads. And I can't stress this enough. We have 100 courses in the Sherri Johnson Academy. Not one of the courses tells you to go pay for a lead. And I'm proud of that because I believe organically you can maximize your sphere of influence. You can also maximize literally the people that you've already interacted with previously. Okay. So this is going to give you, and I want you to take notes. I want you to not only take notes, I want you to put a star next to things that are action items that you're actually going to put into action. That is way different than note taking, right? Note taking is, I really like that. I'm going to write that down. A friend of mine says, you got to stab it with your pen, right? And that sticks. And so if you love an idea and you say, oh, I'm going to do that. That sounds like something I should do to connect with my sphere and get some business. Star it, circle it, your notes, you should go review them and then take notes from your notes and develop an action item list as I'm talking. Because right now, this is the time you have an entire half year. Okay. I mean, we're June 3rd. You have an entire half year, and many of you can achieve double what you did the first half. You just need to say you're doing that. So it literally comes down to you writing down right now, I'm going to do X in business the second half. That's it. I don't know where the addresses are. I don't know where they're coming from, but it starts by having a strategy. And so looking at your CRM as a continuous referral machine is the key. I coach a lot of people that have a 95% referral rate, and they are not doing 20 deals. They're doing 170 deals. Okay. Now think about that. Like, what am I doing if I'm not tapping into 20 years of being an agent, 5 years of being an agent, 3 years of being an agent? We do this exercise with agents that have only been selling for 3 years. They go back to their client list of people they've sold a house to. And guess what? They are shocked. These people actually need to buy or sell again. So let's get started. Let's get into the mindset that I can develop a 90% referral business. I need you to write down right now, if you have not figured out what your referral rate is, you need to do that. Okay. A simple way to do that is to say, where did my business come from last year or the last 2 years, however you want to look at it, and then divide it into those categories. Like, it came from open houses. It came from a repeat customer. A repeat customer is way different than a referral. Okay. A repeat customer is actually a repeat customer. A referral is a referral from someone, an agent referral or a sphere of influence referral or something. But we tend to lump everybody into sphere when there may not be sphere, right? So I want you to be real specific. Did it come from social media? Did it come from a mailer? Did it come from canvassing the neighborhood? Did it come from a postcard mailing that you've been doing into a neighborhood? Go figure out what exactly your percentage of business, where it came from in each area. And that way we have a starting point for you to measure against, right? And I know that whenever we measure anything, when we track it and measure it, we actually improve it. And today we're going to start by looking at where is the business coming from, and then where do I want it to go? If you want a 90+% referral rate and you're at 70% right now, we can fix that. If you're at 50%, we can fix that. If you look at your business and you say, gosh, I'm selling so many houses to buyers, I'd rather work with more sellers, Sherri, put that down, right? I want you to bullet point these. And the one thing you need to say is, I'm going to switch that to a 60-40 list side. I want 60% of my sales to come from listings instead of buyers. Okay. We'll talk about why. Wait, we know why. Listings are a billboard. So you sell 3 to 5 more houses off of every listing. But you're not doing that if you're working the buy side only. Okay. I'm not saying the buy side is not good. I'm saying work the list side and you'll have everything. Work the list side, you'll always have buyers. Work the listing side of the business, and you can do this business virtually from anywhere with a more structured, for the most part, schedule. Okay. I'm Sherri Johnson. If you are joining us for the very first time, welcome. Most of you I recognize, some of you I think are new. Here's the deal. This is every Thursday. We meet at 1 o'clock. I deliver some kind of great content for you, some kind of strategy, action oriented result strategies that you can put into implementation immediately to get results. Some of those might be how to make 50 grand at your next open house, which is an amazing strategy, to this one, which is how to develop a VIP loyalty program and generate a 90% referral. I've been licensed 29 years. And, I was a top agent. I was a top executive for Howard Hanna Real Estate in Cleveland, Ohio. I had about 800 agents and grew the business in that territory from $500 to $2 billion, $500 million to $2 billion, $2 billion with a B in about 4 years. Recruited, trained, and coached thousands of agents on my system called the Goldmine Pipeline. I'm going to give you a copy of that today. You can download or scan this QR code to get my digital card. This has more than just my info. It's going to have links to different things that you can use to develop your skills, one of which is the podcast that I have. You want to download the podcast. There's some other great things in there that you can take advantage of, like booking a call with me, etc. Okay. Go ahead and do that. I'll show this again before the end of the day. I do want to tell you, I'm giving you a 20-minute free coaching call. Please take advantage of this. My schedule books up really quickly. It says with a Sherri Johnson certified coach, it's probably going to be me or 2 of my other coaches. Okay. You can also put in there, if you notice it's not with Sherri, it says Lee or it says somebody else, you just text me directly. I'll make the change. I want to meet you. I literally want to see what you're doing to develop a 90% referral rate. Okay. Some of what I tell you today, we can expand on during this call. You want to bring your Goldmine Pipeline to this call? We can talk about your Goldmine Pipeline. What's working, what's not working. This QR code, I'll show it to you again later, is going to be available for you to book that call with me and get 20 minutes of unbelievable coaching that's going to actually help you catapult you into a great second half of the year. And really, in what I say right now, the second half right now, the second quarter is the best quarter of the year. We know that. Okay. Second quarter of the year, spring market, we know it's the best quarter. In fact, it just closed June 30th. Is top in every market. It's the busiest, most amount of closings happen on June 30th on any day of the year in any market. And now you have this thing called the second best quarter, which happens to be the last quarter of the year. So if you prepare right now, you could maximize the fourth quarter, right? October, November, December. You can maximize the fourth quarter. Games are won in the fourth quarter. Give yourself a head start, give yourself the momentum, and let's make it happen, okay? That requires you to be really strategic. And so I use this word, and sometimes I think no one is really understanding what I mean by this. When you are hyper focused on something like building a continuous referral machine, building a system that generates referrals for you, when you have a strategy and you put that plan of action in place, right? Strategically, it will materialize. It will happen. It will actually become reality. Most of us are kind of winging the business. If I sat with each of you, most agents say to me, I'm just doing the business that comes at me, to me. I don't really have time to put a strategy together. I get it. But I know that is crisis selling. Roller coaster, financial roller coaster ride, right? You sell a house 1 month, you don't sell a house. Up and down financial roller coasters, not fun. Okay. When we are strategic, when we have a strategy, when we say, you know what, I really want to intentionally list more homes this year and intentionally build my referrals, that's when things change. You will see, I'm going to help you close the gap of setting that goal and actually achieving it and making it happen. You just need the game plan. You just need the blueprint for how to go do this. I'm going to give you some ways to do that today. You implement these things. I promise you, you're going to be super, excited and happy. Now, we can't just work on, in the business activities. I get it. You have to go to the home inspection. You have to show the houses. You actually have to do the business. But how much of it is reactive instead of proactive? Okay. When you're just doing what's coming, the crisis of the moment, the crisis of the hour, right? That's not fun. You're actually not playing offense. When we have an offense, when you're playing offense, you are on offense. You are actually driving the ball down the field, right? You are making things come together because you are playing offense. You're actually proactively putting the thing in that Sherri Johnson told you to do. You're actually making the list and then executing it. You're actually sending out the text that I'm going to tell you to send. You're putting together the VIP program. Okay. So I'm not going to go through this whole slide, but how much of your business and how much of your day is like putting out fires instead of planning things and executing on them? Being proactive, having a plan to say, this is the time I'm going to work on my VIP loyalty program, and then put a plan in place and get across the finish line. Okay. What is tracked and measured will improve. When I go running, my watch tells me exactly how fast I'm going at each mile and how long the distance is. When I'm hyper focused on it and I look at it, I'm tracking it and I can make improvements. And I say, oh, I ran that uphill faster than I normally do. Okay. That's what happens. It's statistical process control. It's actually scientific. What you track and measure improves. In real estate, we don't track and measure anything. What is your success rate with referrals? I don't know. I haven't looked at it. So if you just got on, I will cover it again. How do you go back and look at where did your business come from? That's being hyper focused. That is actually being intentional. And when we track and measure something and then we are held accountable to it, well, gosh, that's when the exponential improvement happens. That's when we go from here to here a lot faster. Okay. And that's what this is about. When I have a membership to Lifetime Fitness and I go there and it's $85 a month or whatever, I'm going to tell myself I don't have to go today. Right. If I have a personal trainer that I'm supposed to meet, that I'm either paying for, right, I have to be there. And when to turn those results into somebody, like this is just normal. When you turn in your sales results, how many calls are you making? How many open houses? What was the conversion rate on your listing appointments that you went on in the last month? Right. And then can you tweak that? Can you make it better? Okay. I want you to think about a few things today. How do you go after listings that are not on the market? How do you re-engineer your brain that you can look at your sphere and not be seen as, like, none of us want to be obnoxious. None of us want our sphere to think that we don't have any business. Most agents don't know what to say to people to ask them for business because frankly, they think they're being, I don't want to say obnoxious. They just think it looks weird. Like, how do you ask your sphere for business? We're going to cover that today. First, I want, again, where did your business come from? Write that down. That's an action item today that you need to go do. Go pull your agent statements, find out from your managers, find out in your own database if you have it tracked, and then go down and mark them. And then divide by the total number of sales. And you'll see that 15% of your business came from this category or this category. Okay. And now we have a place to start from and grow. All right. Now I'm gonna skip here. I really want to tell you that every single person has a sphere of influence. And I think we tend to think, like, in our coaching program, the first thing we do, is to start you on the gold mine pipeline. But we also say, like, who do you know? What's your magic 50 list? Who are the people that you know that love you, trust you, like you, card carrying fans, whether they bought a house from you or not? Okay. And I want you to think about this. Like, do I have that list somewhere? Is it in my phone? Is it in 10 spreadsheets? Is it in a CRM? If it's not in a CRM, I'm going to, another action item, create one place for all of your contacts to be housed. I know you like it in an Excel spreadsheet. I know you like it in Google Sheets. I can't stress to you that the companies that you work at are probably giving you some sort of technology level, KV Core, Bold Trail, Follow Up Boss, Lofty, some sort of program that you could utilize and have it work for you. Okay. putting in, literally putting in a workflow that says, here's a brand new lead, and then follow up for 90 days or 120 days. All of your past clients need to go in there. All of the people you know. Who are these people? And if your past clients aren't getting updated, they need to be. So you need a system at the end of the closing. At the end of the sale, do we have a process? Most of you don't. A checklist process of saying, I'm changing this person from, seller client and buyer client to their new address. And then I have a follow-up system in place immediately to deliver the gift, to send another, touch points at all of the 14 days after closing, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days after closing. If you're not doing that, why? Like that's when it starts, right? It actually starts right at the beginning. Think about Ritz-Carlton, right? Why does everyone love to go to the Ritz-Carlton? The experience that people get is different, radically different. I have a client, she says wow value. And every single buyer or seller that they meet with, they get a gift at the beginning of the process. They get 2 water bottles with their logo on them. It's so classy. It's so nice. They do swell bottles. They have a Lululemon looking back that's logoed, right, with their logo. So cool. It's the shoe size bag. It's awesome. 2 water bottles. Here's my gift. And we're so excited to start working with you. Buyer, seller, doesn't matter. Along the process, how do you deliver that? That shock and wow value, right? Do you have a system in place when someone sends you a referral? So many of you will send that person something after the referral, buy something and it closes. But what if you were to add another point in there, right? Add a step where when you received the referral, you sent them something, right? You can use send out cards. There's so many things you can do. To be expensive gifts, it's just an acknowledgement. Okay. So I want you to look at this. So a friend of mine, Alan Dalton, who was CEO of Realtor.com, and he's had many, many positions all over the country at many of the top brands, most recently at Berkshire Hathaway. Alan Dalton said this, and I said to him, that is brilliant. Instead of saying sphere of influence, he said, what if you could influence your sphere? And I got to tell you, he said that I probably heard that 7 years ago from him. And I was like, yes, he hit it on the head. How do we influence our sphere? Do we actually influence our sphere, or are we sitting back and waiting for them to call us when they want to do something? If you are influencing your sphere, and I'm not saying you're convincing them to buy a house, that's what I'm suggesting at all. I'll give you some examples. My very best friend of 50 years or more, probably 55 years. I've known him my whole life. I'll never forget this. Todd said to me, he said, I'm mad at you. And I said, what do you mean? Why are you mad at me? And he said, you should you didn't tell me to buy and sell last year. And I probably would have if you had told me to. And then he said this, Sherri, you're like my stockbroker for real estate. Now, I was in the business. It was probably 2005 or 6. I forget what year it was. And it was around that time, right? And he said, why didn't you tell me to sell? And I was dumbfounded. And I got to tell you something. What I realized was that he said to me, you're like my stockbroker. When my stockbroker tells me to buy, I buy. When my stockbroker tells me to sell, I sell. And I count on you to give me that information. Okay. I mean, think about it. Think about that comment that he made to me. Now, he wasn't seriously mad at me, but he would have sold if I would have said, hey, have you thought about making a move this year? Home values are at a high, would you want to consider that? Or can I at least tell you what your house is worth in today's market? And had I done that with him, he would have sold his house. He told me, Patricia, you want to go back at least 1 year. At least 1 year. I would look at 2024, 2023 even, to sort of see if you did anything differently in those years. So here's what I'm going to tell you. Over the years, I came up with, I started using, so once I became aware that I was the stockbroker for real estate, right? I was like, I'm your stockbroker for real estate. I started to tell people that in my sphere. And I would say, look, whether you're thinking of remodeling, refinancing, or relocating, I can help save you time and money on all 3. So we developed the 3 Rs, and I have this in our academy with letters, and basically everyone uses these letters. They're ready to go. You just customize them, put your logo on them, put your name and picture on them. You don't have to change much, okay? But the letter is ready to go because everyone says, "What am I supposed to write? What am I supposed to do? I don't have time." It's all done for you. Now, here's how it goes if you want to just go write your own. But it basically is, whether you're thinking of remodeling, refinancing, or relocating, I can help save you time and money on any of these. Let's have a conversation. Book an appointment, book a strategy call with me to talk about the market, talk about what your home is worth. And then I put, even if you're not moving, everyone should know what their house is worth, even if you're not moving. I call it a benchmark price opinion. Everyone else is calling it a CMA. Why do I change it up? I want to be different. Everyone else is saying market analysis. I say I'm going to give you a benchmark price opinion, right? Whether you're saying this stuff, right? Or you can say it to people, you can text it to people, you can put it on a postcard, you can send this to people you know. We're talking about that today. Or you can send this to people you don't know, okay? This is sort of a universal script right here. That letter or email or postcard or call is going to say these 3 things. And why I do this is that the first 2 are kind of decoys. However, if somebody is thinking about remodeling, I say, you know what, Beth, Jim, why don't I come over, see your house? I'd love to see the remodeling project that you're thinking about doing. It may be in your best financial interest to not do the home remodel and add on something I can't resell in 3 years, right? You've seen that movie. We've all seen that movie. They add on and then they add on again. I was in Rocky River, Ohio, and an agent, a buyer, they're college friends of mine. And I went to their house and they were like, should we add on or should we move? And I helped them through the conversation. And I would have been happy with whatever they decided to do, by the way, because I wasn't pushing anybody. I just had them figure it out for themselves. And what they came to realize is that they're on a basementless ranch on a street that if they had added another 1,500 square feet onto the house, they still were going to have a basementless ranch surrounded by homes that were less valuable, right? Less value. So they said, gee, we're never going to be able to sell this. And I said, thank you. You just said what I always tell people. Like, it's hard to sell something if you've overbuilt it. It's got to be the right combination of improvements. So a home remodeling project seems like the right thing sometimes, but sometimes it's better for people to go out and buy the house they want. And so that conversation, that gives you an opportunity to have this conversation and actually let them decide what's going to be in their best financial interest. In the case of Beth and Jim, they said, we're going to move and let's buy a bigger house. And it's, buying power, whatever the rates are, right? We're not talking about whether they're good or bad rates. They are what they are. But Beth and Jim looked at me and said, yeah, let's go buy a house and let's not remodel this. I mean, if anything, right, they were going to have to put 20 grand into their garage to sell it. And I said, you could sell the house right now. Let's be smart. So the remodel is one thing, but it's a conversation starter that helps them for you to say, if you're thinking about remodeling, let's have a conversation and let's decide whether it's better to remodel or go buy another house. Now, I've had people say, no, we're putting the addition on, it's already done. I say, great, I can't wait to see it, right? But the refi is also another opportunity. Before you go ahead and refi, what if we could look at what we could get in value for your home? Does it make more sense to sell and buy something different, bigger, smaller, whatever? Okay, so I don't call them decoys necessarily. They really are value-added conversations. But ultimately, right, it's better than just writing someone and saying, do you want to move? To me, this adds value at the same time. Those are things they're thinking about doing. They may not be refining if they have a 3% mortgage. I get it. They're keeping that, okay? But the ones who don't are thinking about a refi, okay? I want to give you, as much information that thank you, Rhonda. I love this type of conversation because here's the deal. You're adding value and you're keeping these people reliant upon you as their real estate agent for life. That's what we're trying to do here. Like when I meet a new client, I say, I want to be your real estate agent for life. Some of you have branded that into Forever Agents and other great lines that are fabulous. But think about that. We just have to ask for the order. We usually don't. When I say ask for the order, I mean ask for the referral. Okay. I'm like your stockbroker. I hope you guys use this. Okay. Obviously, you're not a stockbroker. If you create a VIP loyalty program, and this is, think about this. I travel, I have Sky Miles, Diamond, whatever, Platinum. We've got gold plans that, everywhere we go, everywhere we shop, you get points, you get rewarded. You need to create a VIP loyalty program that is your own. Brand it. Okay. Drop this into ChatGPT and it will write it out for you. I'm not even kidding. We'll help you with it too. But here's how it goes, right? Create a VIP loyalty program that is yours as part of being a client, a lifelong client. I call it a lifelong client. Why wouldn't I? You're a lifelong client. Oh, well, we're never buying another house. That's okay. You're still going to be my client, right? We say past clients. They don't, do they say past realtor? Most of them do. Most of them do. Another Alan Daltonism, by the way. See him, you tell him I quoted him. I always tell him I quote him. Think about that. So we don't want to call it past clients, but we still call it that. So you have a client list just like an attorney has a client list, just like a CPA firm has a client list, okay? Yes, I know they're past buyers. They bought already, but they are all going to turn into a repeat customer, hopefully, or a good referral. So the VIP loyalty program brings about so many great things. You bring in vendors, contractors, title companies, mortgage people, everybody, friends, family members, referral sources who have never bought a house from you, but boy, do they refer you a lot of business, right? And obviously your client list. Now, I want you to think about this. If you create a Facebook group that is Sherri Johnson Real Estate, VIP loyalty program, share it with Sherri Johnson, realtor or real estate. It's a private Facebook group. Okay. I'm giving you high level here, but you could do this. Everyone knows how to create a Facebook group. It's private. It means you are not getting other realtors in there. You invite 900 of your clients that have their past customers that are still hopefully customers, and you create a Facebook group that is a VIP loyalty group. Okay. I don't want you posting your new listings in there. In fact, I want you to post actually nothing about real estate. I want you to post things about the new coffee shop that's in town, the dog event that's happening. There's a dog walk, there's a charity, there's an art show, whatever's going on in town. Infuse community into this. Give them valuable information. Okay. There's value in educational marketing. Okay. And I'm gonna cut to that slide for a second because I want you to know that educational marketing provides value to people. If you are not creating enough value, you're just like every other agent. If you add massive value, my dad taught me this since I can remember, 4 or 5, like literally 6, 7, 8 years old. You have to add value or no one's going to hire you. The more value you add, the more you can charge. Your fees go up. You are more valuable than the discount person, right? Think about it. That's why people pay more to go to the Ritz-Carlton over Holiday Inn. Both hotels, radically different service, right? We could say the same about our industry. So take a slideshot of this, or a screenshot of this rather, and slideshot. I don't know why I said that. Take a screenshot or a pic of it. And I want you to do the things that are on this list, okay? If you don't have a home buying guide, make one. If you don't have an updated marketing strategy, which is really your listing presentation, make one. Have ChatGPT help you. It will write you so great. I mean, ChatGPT, isn't going to replace us. People are going to buy a house from a vending machine. Although, how many of you have seen the Carvanas? That's kind of creepy, right? Those cars are in that thing. It kind of looks like a vending machine. People are going to buy a house from a vending machine. They'll buy plane tickets on Expedia. They'll buy hotels. They might book a trip for 10 grand. They're not buying a house for $500,000 through a machine. They're not in our lifetime anyway. So I want you to write these things down. I want you to put this into practice. And I actually want you to think, what can I add value? Because that's the person who gets hired. That the person who actually adds the most value is the one who's going to get hired. When you add value to your sphere, they stay with you. Now, this VIP loyalty program is going to create stickiness. I want you to, write down, create a Facebook group, post to it every day. Here's what happens. You post to that every day, random topics. People are seeing your name. They're like, Sherri Johnson. They just got a hit. Sherri Johnson, Sherri Johnson. Someone says to them, I need a real estate agent. The first thing they're going to think is you because they constantly see your name. They're having social media conversations with you. Okay. I don't call that a real conversation, but it does count because to them, everyone, I mean, think about it. I say, did you talk to somebody? And they go, yeah. And I said, but did you actually talk to them? Or was this online or on a text? Utilizing social media like this will help you. Okay. Create, I call it a Sherri's list. So Angie's list, remember Angie's list? It's now just Angie. I've stopped saying Angie's list, but think about it. That list of contractors, people, all the people that you do business with, where you buy apply, all the names of contractors and painters and roofers and hardwood floor people and bathroom remodelers or hair salons, whatever, mortgage, title, attorneys, probate, you make a list and you create that list and people are going to use it before they buy or sell, when they're buying or selling, and then long after the transaction, they're going to reference that list that you created for them. You have your own Angie's list, but you have to create it. One of the things I like you to do is go to those contractors and retailers and people that you refer to and tell them, hey, I'd really like to put something out at your store that has my information, or would you refer business back to me? It's a two-way street. Okay. If you're not doing that, you're really missing out. I think a VIP loyalty program is going to give you a stickiness with your clients. I want you to have merch. Like, why wouldn't you have a really cool, like, I don't have it in front of me. It's actually on my other desk. It's literally a portable charger with your logo. Do you know how many people love those things? You send me a referral or you send me whatever, I'm sending you a gift, right? A Yeti with your logo on it, just for being my client, just for whatever. If you're doing either stop buys or drop buys or pop buys, and I know Buffini calls it pop buys, here's what I call it. Get today. You have time. I know it's a busy holiday, but all week, all my clients are doing this. They're getting pies. They're dropping off pies for the 4th of July. Take a pie to 5 picnics, drop off to 10 or 15 or 20 of your clients. Go to Office Max, buy some stickers, print the stickers, 4th of July artwork, compliments of Sherri Johnson Real Estate. Thank you for being a trusted friend, client, VIP, right? Thank you for all your referrals. Here's what happens, and I know this for a fact. Like, we do the pie thing at Thanksgiving. It should be done at Memorial Day. It should be done at the 4th of July. Okay. You have an opportunity today to just go get some pies and drop them off to people. I want your cards on them or some sort of sticker, some kind of branding, because what's going to happen is that pie is going to sit on a table somewhere where all the desserts are sitting. Am I right? And your card's going to be sitting there. And everyone's going to say, oh, who brought this pie? Drop off the pies. Okay. It gives you an opportunity to go see people and see them in person. Appreciation events, micro and macro. What does that mean? Well, I want you to have events. You can do one big event a year. You can do small events throughout the year. A luncheon, bring, 10 like-minded people together for lunch. Tell them they can share best practices or help each other build their businesses. I have an agent who had 10 women. They came together every month. They shared lunch, and guess what they talked about eventually? They said, hey, Janice, what's going on with the real estate market right now? Okay. I mean, think about that. Like, you really do have a connection with these people. So are you maximizing that? You don't have to say, hey, I want to talk about real estate. That would be weird. That's weird and it's gross and it feels weird, right? I guarantee you put 10 people, 10 friends, a golfing group, a running group, anything, a reading group. a book club, right? Have some, like I have a client, she did a golf, top golf event, 25 people. She got 6 pieces of business from it. 6 actual listings and sales. Top golf, 25 people, I think maybe 30 people max. She didn't play. She just walked around in the bays and talked to people, right? She made a lot of money. I mean, think about it. Do you have events? Do you thank people? Do you just do one event a year? It's fine, but I want it to make sense. The ROI on it needs to make sense. I have a client, she does a bowling event every year. She invites 300 people. 150 of them show up. She sells 9 houses from it. Like clockwork every year. She knows it's going to be 9. So what could you do? What could you do? I have Halloween is coming. I mean, it's not here yet, but like I had a client, she did 40 drop buys of we did this pumpkin carving kit, literally from the dollar store. Okay. Pumpkin carving kit. She put it together, dropped it off. She was so mad at me. She said, "Oh my God, it's going to take me 2 days." And I'm going to tell you right now, she stopped at 40 people's houses. And with people's ring cameras, you can't just drop and go. Like you got to talk, right? You got to say hi. And I want you to say hi to these people. I want you to say, "Hey, the landscaping looks awesome. I love what you did. How are the kids? What's going on? I saw you on Facebook," right? Just stopping by and talking to people. Who do you know? Friends, family member, coworkers, or neighbors that I can help buy, sell, or invest. That's it. That's all I'm asking for, right? Is there anyone I can help? The National Association of Statistics say, realtors say, these are the stats. Every person you know that you've sold a house to knows, get this is like crazy. 6 people who are going to move this year in the next 12 months. I personally think that number's high. Maybe it is 6. I mean, that's kind of crazy, but think about it. If it's 6, I say to people, "Hey, Paul, the stats say, the experts say that 6 people are going to move this year. I don't know if it's 6. That seems kind of high, but do you know 3? And let's not ask, like I just said a yes or no question, but who do you know? Would you have 3 people, your friends, family members, coworkers, or neighbors that I could help buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next, year or 2? Doesn't have to be right now. I want you to add that little phrase on there in the next, 2 months to 24 months, 2 months to 2 years. Why would I add that? I would add that or tell you to add it because what ends up happening, okay, is that you actually, when you ask somebody that first half of that question, which is, who do you know? Friends, family members. Like if you don't ask friends, family members, coworkers, or neighbors, their immediate answer is going to be, "No, I don't know anybody. I don't know anybody. Don't know anybody." But if you break it down for them in their brain, now they're thinking about their friends, their family members. They're like, "Oh yeah, my cousin just had a baby. They need a house." Or, "Yeah, you know what? The guy at work is going to be moving." All of a sudden, you're kind of jogging their memories, right? And if we ask, "Do you know anybody moving?" The easy answer is no. When we say, "Who do you know?" Your friends, family, now we've asked like for an answer instead of a yes or no. Okay. Being very kind of strategic there, but it does work. It really does work. Your gold mine pipeline is where you're going to put all these people. One of the best ways to fill the pipeline with referrals is to go down your client list of sales you had in the past 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 years. Okay. Some have been licensed a long time. You've got a big list. I want you to grab a highlighter, circle the names of the people on that list that you sold a house to 5 years ago or whatever it was, doesn't matter. And I want you to put their names, listing possibility, potential listing, potential buyer. And now you're going to what? Call them. So easy. So many clients get business from doing this. It's ridiculous. All you have to do is mine your database that you already have. Whether it's coming out of the CRM or not, you have a list called agent statements. Every one of us has that, right? We know our list of people we've sold a house to. Then I want you to take the list of, referring people that you have, put them on the gold mine pipeline. If you do not have the pipeline, okay, I'm going to give that to you right now. You can scan this and this will drop the ebook and the pipeline into your inbox in the next few minutes automatically. It's pretty cool. And you can start using the system. It works wildly. It's wild success. You have 2 to 3 times what you normally sell. If you're a $5 million agent, you probably have $15 million on your pipeline. Don't even realize it. Okay. Please stop discounting the people you think are not moving for 6 to 12 months. Those people become A sellers and A buyers very quickly. We usually lose those opportunities because we discount them. How many times have you talked to someone and they're like, yeah, we're not moving for like, probably 6 months to a year. And I don't know, in the next month or two, less than 6 months, the sign is in their yard or you see it in the MLS. Has that ever happened? Yes, right? And we say, those people, they lied to me, or they told me no, they were just talking. Every possible lead goes on the pipeline, even if they're 2 years out. Okay. I want you to put everything on there. And the magical part, thank you, Paul. Ah, that's so awesome. Use it religiously. Thank you. That was a lot of years ago that I taught that to you. Here's what I'm going to tell you. You want predictable income, build future business. You all need business in September, in October, right? In November, December, January of next year. Heck, next month. If you build this, eventually those people drop into the A level status and they become a ready, willing, and ready to go buyer. But so often we say, I'm not going to call those people. I want you to have predictable, consistent monthly income. Instead of this roller coaster ride, you will love me. I've taught this to so many people. They've gone from making 40 grand a year to making $15,000 to $20,000 a month just by putting the pipeline in place, going from 3 million a year to 10 million in 1 year. Like, you can do this. You have more business. Please write it down, monetize it, add it up. The best part of the pipeline, right, Paul, is adding it up. When you add it up, you see the potential and you say to yourself, oh my gosh, I could do 15 million. Yes, I have it right here. It's so magical. Nobody ever adds it up, though. You have some whiteboard you're putting names on. I get it. I love whiteboards. But this thing is going to change your life, okay? I can't do a session without talking about the gold mine pipeline. We all know that. Now, what I want you to do, I have another, I do have I'm going to switch gears because I want to show you this. And it's called the 20-minute tech sprint. And I think what is so cool about my 20-minute tech sprint is that I just had a client literally, like, oh my gosh, they sent out 35 texts. Okay. We're going to go through this 20-minute tech sprint. And I want you to take a picture of this. I want you to do it this afternoon. You have a reason to text all these people because it's about to be a holiday, right? So one of my teams that we coach did this session and they sent out 35 text messages. She has 5 contracts, 2 buyer agreements. She's showing buyers to 2 buyers that are over 600,000. She wrote 2 listing agreements, has signs in yards. Those properties, one of them is under contract already. She did this text sprint in May, okay? In May. And I was like, wow, you have 4 things. That is unreal with literally 35 texts. Okay, I'm going to give you the text that she sent in a moment. This last week, she said, I just closed a $600,000 commercial sale, Sherri. I said, where did that come from? She said, from the 20-minute text sprint. All right. And I was like, are you kidding me? And she said, no. Like, I said, was it one of the people? She said, no, it was a referral from it. So here's what happens when you do the 20-minute text sprint. I've always had this philosophy that if you make 10 calls, you'll make 20 grand. Okay. 10 calls to 20 grand. Every time you pick up the phone, you have an opportunity to make $10,000 a transaction. If those people are going to buy and sell from you, it's now 2 transactions, it's 20 grand. 10 calls, 20 grand. I don't know which call is going to say yes or maybe, so I want you to make all 10. It might be call 1, 3, 5, it might be call 7, it might be call 9, it might be called 10. But if I told you and guaranteed you that someone was going to say yes or maybe, how many of us would make every one of those calls? Well, we all would, right? Because I told you that somebody was going to say yes. That's the differentiator, the confidence level you have to see yourself already winning. Like you have to say, I'm going to list or sell a house and still know the address. Okay. Some of you have heard me say that. You have to say one of these people is going to say yes and not get discouraged and not see this as a dreadful thing. So I took the 10 calls to 20 grand concept. And people always say, by the way, sounds so much better when you say it. And here's why it sounds so much better when I say it. I just said you're going to win. One of them's going to say yes. I'm not stopping till one says yes, right? And how good are you going to feel? How amazing are you going to feel when you say, oh my gosh, this worked? Because it does. So I had the 10 calls to 20 grand making phone calls. My friend Jesse Zagorski, I was in Maui speaking at an event, and my friend Jesse said, we're doing a 20-minute text sprint, everybody. Get your phones out. And we literally started texting people. All right. I had like 55 texts or something. A couple of us won cash. I didn't even know there was a prize. But here's what I want you to do. It's the same concept as the 10 calls to 20 grand. When you text somebody, okay, and the great thing about text is that people expect that they can write you back when it's convenient, don't they? So no one is like, oh, I got to write you back, Patricia, right now. I can do this tomorrow or in 3 days from now or 3 hours from now. So you're going to text. It's just not getting a subscription where you mass text everybody the same thing. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying take your phone out and do this. Boom, boom, copy, paste. Okay. I don't like to say you can put their first name in. It takes a little bit more time. And then you have to remember to do it because then you're going to hit send and it's going to say, hi, Bob. And you're sending it to Lisa. Okay. So whether you put the salutation in or not, here's what you have. Same text, same talk track. Wanted to let you know I'm taking new clients. Taking new clients. And I wanted to know if you had a friend, family member, coworker, or neighbor that I could help buy, sell, or invest in real estate in the next 3 months to 2 years. And you can actually include them, right? And then what you really have to do is ask them, right? Think about this. Ask them a question because then they have to answer it. What are you doing for the 4th of July? Like I'd put a space and I'd say, what are your plans for the 4th of July? And then I would say, when can we get together for breakfast, coffee, or a drink? I can't wait to talk to you, right? Cheers, Sherri. Okay. Now you're going to get people responding to this. It works every time. I have lost count of the number of text sprints that we have done with our clients. One guy sent 400 texts. Oh, it took him like 4 hours or something. I don't even know. It was crazy. He had 55 appointments, not responses, 55 appointments. The only thing he changed was he said, I just joined a new company and I wanted to make sure you got my information. You have my new email. He added that. And then I think he said something about, I like bourbon. So bourbon or coffee, which is it or something. Now, I would never write that. I don't drink, but like that worked for him. And he got 55 appointments. Okay. How many of you are going to do this? Text sprint. It's so easy. Tammy White, are you going to do this text sprint? Armstrong, I'm looking at you guys. Can we do the text sprint? It's super easy. It's so easy. My friend Shannon in Houston has 5 contracts, 2 active listings, 1's under contract. I mean, I can't wait to add up the commissions that she has gotten from just doing this one activity. Now, I don't know many people that get 5 contracts, the ratio of 5 from 35 texts. That's a really big one. I have a brand new agent. This is a funny story. She got a $400,000 buyer, sold them a house. It was a referral from text sprinting. And you know what was funny? When I asked, I said, who was it that you sent that to? Who referred you? What kind of person was it in your database, in your phone? And she said, my daughter's cheer coach. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I said, did you know her well? She said, I didn't know her at all. She said, I barely knew this woman. I just had her on my phone. I'm like, come on, right? Like, what lesson are we learning here, everybody? Okay. You have everything you need in this thing called the moneymaker, the phone. It makes outgoing calls, by the way. I know I hurt some of you right there with that one, but listen, when you start using this phone to send outgoing texts, people are going to write you back, especially when you put that 2.0 in there, right? The 2.0 means that I'm going to ask a question, right? I have to ask a question because I want them to have to respond. Okay. And people will respond to you. Here's the 10 calls, 20 grand. People will respond to you because you asked them a question. It might be 3 days later. Some of them won't respond, maybe. Okay. Done is better than perfect. Stop thinking about this stuff and just start doing. When you put a premium on execution on any lead generation strategy that I give you, when you put a premium on execution and you put a plan in place and you put that plan into action, that's what's going to catapult your results. That's it. It's the only way that that works. So really the only way it works. We can't think ourselves into better action, right? And your success is going to breed more success. In fact, I see this every single day. Once you get that first call, once that text comes back and you get an appointment, right? You're going to say, that thing worked. That VIP loyalty program works. Having a system for following up with clients who refer you business works. Giving them a gift at the beginning of the process works. Creating a Facebook group to just connect with people works. Filling out the gold mine pipeline. Your success breeds more success. It's actually contagious. And you're going to feel like a rock star that you already are, right? Because coaching isn't like making you great. It's bringing out, actually, it's just bringing out the greatness that you already have. I'm just doing that. I'm just literally the catalyst, if you will. That's why I named this coaching catalyst, is that I'm just the catalyst in making that happen. Here's a really great story. Oh, we got that slide in there twice. You know, coaching with Sherri tripled her business in her second year from 3 to 9 million. She's over like 84 transactions now and probably closer to 19 million. Single agent, by the way. Single agent, not a team. Dawn Hinton made $100,000 from one open house using the 50K strategy. Stuff works. It really does work. She's also a fabulous coach for us. Book that 20-minute call. I'm putting that back on the screen. I'm actually, normally I would be dropping these into the chat. One of the things I'm giving you today is literally 50% off your first month of coaching. If you've coached with us previously or you've never been in coaching, our average agents make another $150,000 in their first year of coaching. That's a big number. I'm very proud of it. We've had people make $750,000 more in 11 months of coaching. So if you're considering investing in your future, investing in your business, and literally wanting to take your business to the next level, I recommend you do this. We're going to give you 50% off the first month. And you just type in first 50 and you're going to scan this QR code and you can literally go to my website, sherrijohnson.com, scan this code. It'll take you to our plans. We have 2 agent plans and 2 team plans that you can look at and review. We're happy to talk to you about those. If you want to hear about them and really understand what you get, we'll do that with you, obviously in person, or you can sign up immediately. This is now that says good until July 3rd. That's actually inaccurate. It'll be still available for you next week. Okay. You have a week to do this. I want you to benefit. The Gold Mine Pipeline is awesome, but it's 500,000 times better when you have someone coaching you on it, right? You're going to get there faster. That's what we do. People tell me I'll pay you $12,000 or $7,000 and I get the Gold Mine Pipeline and the ROI on it is another $150,000. I think I'd be happy if I made another 80, right? So take advantage of it. It's literally the best investment of anything you could spend to help get you work-life balance, get you where you want to go, working less, making more, working smarter, not harder, right? There's a lot of burnout in our industry. I mean, it really is. There's a lot, and there's always some shiny thing we think is going to be some magic pill to help you grow. It doesn't always work that way. So many times agents are spinning their wheels, just constantly trying to figure out what they can do to put it together. Not ready for coaching yet. I can tell you that Playbook by Sherri Johnson is the next best thing. This is going to be a monthly subscription. You can purchase this for as low as $49 a month for access to the Sherri Johnson Academy with there's about 75 courses in there with downloadable course content, the 3 Rs, everything I just taught you. There's a course, VIP loyal, all the stuff I just went over, plus all the other things you didn't even know about. This is going to be access 24/7. You can get that. I'm going to give you a screenshot where you can download the playbook. If you want the playbook plus one live group coaching call per month, you can sign up for Playbook Plus, which is just that subscription. It's $99. You get everything. Thank you, Patricia. Happy 4th. You get everything in the $49 plan, plus one live group coaching call where I actually coach you and speak to you directly. And you can cancel anytime. This is not a commitment. There's no contract. It's just really fabulous coaching. A lot of people join this, do this for about 3 months, and then hire a coach. Either way, I'm happy to help you with making that decision and getting you where you need to go. So lastly, I will tell you if you have any questions, I'm going to stay here for another minute or two. And I will tell you next week, we have a phenomenal catalyst call. I will be sharing systems with you that will create more leverage, more how do you sell 3 to 5 houses off of every listing? One of the most brilliant things I ever came up with. And it all started my first month. I had 5 sales. I'm going to show you how I did that. And I'm going to show you how I've taught it to thousands of agents where they make $100,000 in less than 3 months and spend $3,000 on postcards. This is the very best opportunity for you to build your business this year, this half year. Maximize it. Take advantage of it. Please take the list you just made and go put it into action. Okay. I'm happy to help. If you have a question about today or anything I went over, please let me know. Sign up for Playbook, sign up for coaching, sign up for that free 20-minute call. You're welcome, Paul. Thanks. So good to see you. Hope you're all going to have a wonderful 4th of July. Be safe. And I'll see you back here next week at 1 o'clock on Thursday. Sound good? All right, guys. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.